Residents at a Far East Side apartment complex say they're still asking for help nearly a year after two young people were killed there. How they say the property management is failing them.
While the threat of widespread thunderstorms tonight is low, that's not going to be the case about 24 hours from now. We'll be tracking that next line of thunderstorms that could be severe in a few minutes.
And concerns rise about youth mental health in Wisconsin after the findings of a survey of high school students. It's all ahead on News 3 Now at 10. No shortage of hot and humid weather today across southern Wisconsin. Those conditions could lead to some severe storms tomorrow. An alert day remains in our first warning forecast for your Wednesday, and chief meteorologist Alex Harrington is closely watching for the hazards you need to know about. Alex?
Yes, Eric, and you have that humidity out here. When you step outside, you can feel that rush, and that's all that fuel that you need for thunderstorms. Good news is, at least for tonight, the threat for thunderstorms is fairly low. We still have a marginal risk of severe weather across southern Wisconsin for the potential of an isolated pop-up storm. With this energy out here, any storm that were to pop up, if it does pop up, which is very low chance, could get on the strong side, but I'm not expecting widespread severe weather, although I'm keeping an eye on areas far southwestern Wisconsin, near the Wisconsin-Illinois border. We could see a couple thunderstorms near daybreak, and one or two of those storms could have some stronger winds. Future track, again, confirming my thoughts here, not showing widespread thunderstorm activity, if any at all, through at least 3-4 o'clock Wednesday morning. 78 degrees right out here in the patio, and I can feel it. The dew points increased to 72, so it feels like the lower to middle 80s across the area. That 2 o'clock thunderstorm chance, that's a very tiny chance. I think the better chance, if we were to have a thunderstorm, again, south of Madison near the Wisconsin-Illinois border right around daybreak, could have some patchy fog to start daybreak. You might be wondering about concerts on the square. I will be there with Susan Simon. Looking very muggy, warm. We will be between storm chances. That next threat coming in later Wednesday evening, and in Maine weather, I'll show you if that line is going to make it into southern Wisconsin and how far and what hazards could come with it.
All right, Alex, thank you. Frustration continues to grow for a group of residents at a Far East Side Madison apartment complex. Tenants at the Harmony Apartments on Milwaukee Street say they're still facing a lack of resources. Resources they say they need to keep kids out of trouble. News 3 Now has brought you continuing coverage since last summer into the deaths of Devon Grant and Kaisha Miller, who were killed in separate shootings outside the apartments. Our Braden Ross has been working the story for a year now. She was back at the Harmony tonight, speaking with residents about the changes they are still asking for. And Braden, what's the update?
Yeah, well, the residents I talked to tonight told me they still don't have the resources they've been asking for nearly a year now, but one local group is stepping in to hope to change that.
Anxiety, vigilance, sometimes depression, just fears about going outside.
That's how many parents at the Harmony Apartments described their children over the last year.
A lot of them still ask me how I'm doing since my son passed. And how can I be able to do what I do for them? And I tells them, I look at my son in a lot of y'all.
Alicia Grant was one of many people, including some young kids, who witnessed the murder of her son in the Harmony parking lot last July.
But they just cope with it just like I do. It's an everyday thing.
That's where trauma response and recovery nonprofit The Rainbow Project comes in.
It really has been wonderful to see them come together, because that's exactly what's needed, to come in and work together and helping support each other. But there are some things that are behavioral and mental health wise that you can help with in grieving and recovering.
They've been coming to the complex since the spring, providing just a fraction of the services Alicia and her neighbors have been asking for since the shootings. But residents say still, the building's property management has been standing in the way of improvements.
The rapport with us and management is really bad.
They gave us a list saying that we can't have bouncy houses, swimming pools, or slip and slides on the property, which is, that's all we got to keep the kids going on a weekend. So when they said that, I threw a phone party for the kids. She come the day after and give me a $117 ticket.
Alicia was planning another activity for the kids, a water balloon fight, but
I didn't do it because I got this ticket.
She says that night, instead of a water balloon fight, a physical brawl broke out at the complex.
So, of course, these kids gonna find something to get in trouble to. They worried about the wrong stuff.
Now, residents have told me they have felt safer with more police patrols in the area since the shootings. Milwaukee-based management company for the property, Royal Capital, told us in a statement they have added programming to the complex and held meetings with residents over the last year.
Braden, thank you. A 22-year-old Fitchburg woman was arrested overnight after police say she stabbed another woman during an argument. It happened outside an apartment building on Post Road. Officers found the victim at a nearby business shortly after 2:30. And they say the woman had tried to get a ride to the hospital after being cut, but stopped to call 911 for transport. She was taken to the hospital with serious but non-life-threatening wounds. Officers returned to the apartment complex and ordered the suspect out of her apartment, where she was taken into custody. She's facing a charge of first-degree recklessly endangering safety and substantial battery. We are not naming her, as she has not yet been charged at this time. Next at 10, Madison police say the suspect from a sexual assault that happened over the weekend on a bike path has now turned himself in. The suspect, a 21-year-old man, was booked into jail, although jail records show he is no longer in jail tonight. Authorities say a woman was sexually assaulted by a man riding an electric skateboard Saturday morning. Police put out these photos hoping it would lead to an arrest, which it did. The suspect was arrested for fourth-degree sexual assault and lewd and lascivious behavior. An Army soldier from Dodgeville who was reported missing in action during the Korean War will be laid to rest later this year after his remains were recovered and identified. Robert Reyes was reported missing September 1st, 1950. A year later, the American Graves Registration Service Group consolidates remains from military cemeteries in South Korea. And after decades of DNA work and scientific advances, those remains were identified not too long ago as Reyes. He will be buried on September 7th. President Biden is expected to kick off the Democratic National Convention as the keynote speaker on the first night. The president was previously slated to close the program, but by passing the torch to Vice President Kamala Harris, plans have now changed. According to sources, President Biden is expected to deliver a prime-time speech during the opening night of the Chicago convention, with the evening centered on his legacy and achievements, like we were 2 weeks ago with the Republicans. News 3 Now will be in Chicago August 19th through the 22nd, bringing you live coverage from the Democratic National Convention in Chicago. Today in Washington, as the acting director of the U.S. Secret Service addressed security failures leading up to the assassination attempt on former President Donald Trump in Pennsylvania earlier this month, Ronald Rowe told the Homeland Security and Judiciary Committees that the agency is adjusting how it approves security measures. He also admitted that he cannot defend how the gunman was able to get on the roof that day to threaten the Republican nominee's life.
What I saw made me ashamed. As a career law enforcement officer and a 25-year veteran with the Secret Service, I cannot defend why that roof was not better secured.
And Rowe took charge of the Secret Service after Director Kimberly Cheadle resigned last week. That came after she could not provide clear answers to members of Congress over the same issue of security lapses. Wisconsin U.S. Senator Ron Johnson wants better answers as to what happened.
There's basic information that we still don't know. Information that we quite honestly should have known within hours, certainly within days, and yet we're 17 days out.
FBI investigators continue to search for the shooter's motive. Also in Washington, the U.S. Senate took social media platforms to task, voting in favor of bipartisan legislation to protect children and teens online. Senators overwhelmingly supported the bill, calling this first major tech reform legislation in decades a new era of accountability. Parents of children who died by suicide or who have otherwise been harmed online have been advocating for change for years.
They will be able to disconnect from the addictive features and opt out of those black box algorithms that drive at them relentlessly.
And it requires these platforms to go through an audit every single year to make certain that they are complying with the law.
House members return to work in Washington in September. Republican House Speaker Mike Johnson of Louisiana says he is, quote, committed to working to find consensus. New data from the Department of Public Instruction shows Wisconsin students are facing severe mental health issues. In a 2023 Youth Risk Behavior Survey, 59% of high schoolers who took the survey indicated they experienced at least one mental health challenge in the past year.
Almost 6 out of every 10 Wisconsin high schoolers are telling us that they feel anxious, depressed, or suicidal. Each day, these kids carry with them an incredible burden.
Education officials want to use this data to better meet the needs of Wisconsin's youth. Help is available at any time through the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. You can call or text that number at any time for help. Federal officials are calling out junk fees that parents pay to make online deposits to their children's school lunch accounts. The Consumer Financial Protection Bureau found some parents may pay up to 60 cents in fees for every dollar they deposit. Those ultra high percent fees tend to impact lower income families who qualify for reduced price lunches. By law, schools participating in federal programs for low cost or no cost lunches must offer a fee-free payment option and inform parents about all payment options and fees, but the CFPB found school districts and processors frequently fail to post the availability of free payment methods. More local stories still ahead tonight at 10. More recognition for Madison, ranked as one of America's healthiest cities, but it's not just because of the city's biking and walkability. We'll share what other factors were considered next.
Looking for the best value in contact lenses? At Stanton Optical, score an annual supply of AccuView Oasis plus a free contact lens eye exam for only $189. The numbers are in. At Stanton Optical, you save a whopping $280. You're not going to find a better deal with the other guys. Now that's what I call value. Book your eye exam today. Stanton Optical. Easy's our thing.
Everyone deserves the fastest, most reliable internet speeds, regardless of where they live. That's why Spectrum offers the fastest speeds in more neighborhoods than any other provider. So switch to Spectrum and get a powerful network that connects nearly 500 million devices.
Switch to Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month with free modem, no data caps, and no contracts. Plus, save with our 2-year price guarantee when you level up to a gig. Call 1-855-735-1336 or scan to call.
With Spectrum Internet, you can power all of your devices to enjoy streaming, video chatting, and gaming with the most reliable internet speeds. Get a powerful network that millions of customers rely on. I rely on Spectrum Internet. You should too.
Switch to Spectrum Internet for only $49.99 a month with 99.9% network reliability, no added taxes or hidden fees, and no contracts. Plus, save with our 2-year price guarantee. Call 1-855-735-1336.
Call now.
Let's do this.
Introducing Chevy's best lineup of SUVs ever. The rugged, always-ready Trailblazer, the first-ever Traverse Z71, and the Chevy Trax, starting at $21,495. When it's your time to shine, Chevy's got you.
Get 1.9% financing on select popular 2024 Chevy SUVs when you finance with GM Financial. Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in Wisconsin.
The Sun Prairie Sweet Corn Festival runs August 14th through the 18th. The famous 80 tons of steamed corn, rolled in butter and lightly salted, is served Saturday and Sunday only. Visit sunprairiecornfest.com for complete details and hotel discounts.
Our country has taken a beating the last few years, but I know we can turn it around. It'll take a lot of hard work like these athletes put in. We need to get serious about our spending that has caused prices to skyrocket. We need to fix our health care and address the shortage of affordable housing. Also, we must close our border, stop the flow of fentanyl, and put Americans first. I'm Eric Hovde. I approve this message. Let's get America winning gold again.
On The Jennifer Hudson Show, Kerry Washington and the cast of Unprisoned.
So everybody relates to the challenges of living with people that you call family.
Plus, gospel great CeCe Winans.
On the next Jennifer Hudson Show at 3. You're watching News 3 Now at 10. Moving forward.
Welcome back. The start of the school year is still more than a month away for Madison students. They're happy about that. But the new Madison superintendent, Dr. Joe Gothard, is sharing 3 pillars into his priorities and plans in his first year leading the district. The first pillar is people. Dr. Gothard says it's important to engage with stakeholders and keep them informed about what's happening in MMSD schools. Now, the second pillar is purpose. A shared purpose will enable the district to collaborate toward its goals and lead with transparent communication. Finally, there is pride. Gothard emphasizing the district must be proud of the students it serves, MMSD's work, and also MMSD's rich history. Dr. Gothard in a statement saying in part, quote, "This speaks to the many ways that I want to engage with the community on an ongoing basis. Together, we can positively impact our students' lives and build a brighter future for them and MMSD." Madison has been named the 5th fittest city in the country by the American College of Sports Medicine. Our Arman Rahman set out to find out what Madisonians think about that and how our city fits into the national conversation around being active.
There's a lot more that goes into naming the fittest cities in America than just biking and running. Dr. Stella Volpe is the president of the American College of Sports Medicine. They use a combination of community environment and personal health indicators for the index.
We use already established, validated surveys within the cities and also federal ones like from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention.
Madison climbed from number 6 last year to number 5.
I'm not too surprised. That doesn't surprise me.
One of the national trends is more cities investing in park systems and more residents using them.
During COVID, it's more than doubled, maybe quadrupled. There's soccer leagues, there's cricket leagues, there's ultimate frisbee leagues, there's softball, there's kickball, pickleball.
Outdoor access is unmatched in Madison.
I didn't participate in a lot of it in DC, but after moving here, we've been playing pickleball a lot. We play soccer too, so it's been good.
Justin Schmitz bikes 18 miles round trip to work. He says out of all the cities he's lived in, biking in Madison is among the best.
I've been to Portland, Oregon. That place definitely is way above us, but for all the other cities I've been in, I've never seen so many people biking as I see in Madison.
There are ways residents say Madison can improve.
So we just need elevated bike paths that are like sidewalk level.
We need more courts. We're fighting for them sometimes.
Just more paths like this bike path that are open and not like shaded or in parts that aren't very active. Like this I feel very safe on. Other parts of bike paths and walking paths I don't.
Even if it seems like some of our neighbors do enough activity for all of us.
I'm a stay-at-home mom, so I'm just always on my feet chasing my children. And then I do yoga too, and dancing.
Dr. Volpe says be proud.
Any type of activity is medicine.
Reporting in Madison, Arman Rahman, News 3 Now.
Well, some will say the toughest job in baseball isn't pitching or hitting. It's being the umpire. The ump always under scrutiny by someone who thinks they can do a better job. Good luck telling that to Max Stella. He's been behind the plate of Little League games up in Wausau now for more than 4 decades.
And umpiring for 45 years, umpiring chief 25, 30 years, 4,000 games. We just come out here and see what we can do to make the game enjoyable for the kids.
When you do this for Little League, this is volunteer. You know, we're not taking home a paycheck. So for 45 years, it's amazing.
Don't argue with Max. He is retiring this summer to spend more time with what he loves more than baseball, his wife of 49 years, Marcia, and their children.
She's an angel. She never says, have a good game. She never says, catch them. She says, have fun. That's all. If I don't have fun, then she's mad at me.
Now, he won't get too far away from the game. Max says he'll probably stay on the board of directors with the Wausau Youth Baseball and Softball Leagues. Chief Meteorologist Alex Harrington back now. First warn forecast ahead of tomorrow's alert day. Alex?
It'll be a warm and humid day on Wednesday. Much of it is going to be dry, but will feature thunderstorm chances by the time we get later Wednesday evening. That could carry on into Thursday morning. Been keeping an eye here also on weather track, looking upstream out to our west. Do you have any thunderstorms that are moving towards southern Wisconsin? Right now, it's largely dry across much of the upper Midwest. A couple storms trying to fire up, but they've been struggling. We're keeping an eye on, though, for the potential thunderstorms to pop up over central Iowa that could impact the far southwest and far southern part of Wisconsin right around daybreak Wednesday morning. Nothing out there on radar 3000 right now. A couple lone showers way up towards Green Bay. They'll likely stay up in that area, and I expect much of the evening to be dry. We're still at 78 degrees. I'm still warm from being out on the patio. Low to mid 70s across all of southern Wisconsin, so it feels muggy out there. We've got 74 in Middleton, 72 in Cross Plains, and 76 right now, our friends to south in Oregon. 72, that's the dew point. That's that muggy factor. When it gets above 70, it starts to feel tropical. The closer it gets to 80, that's just oppressive. So we're inching our way towards that level, and we will be experiencing near oppressive humidity levels Wednesday. That's the fuel for those thunderstorms. Susan and I will be at concerts on the square. We'll be highs in the upper 80s. It's going to feel like the mid, maybe upper 90s at that time. So bring water to hydrate if you plan to go to concerts on the square Wednesday evening. We'll see you there. But thunderstorm chances increase as we head towards the later evening hours, 10, 11 o'clock. That's why we have alert day conditions. Don't want to let your guard down throughout the day. We could have a pop-up storm, but the better chances are going to be Wednesday evening for all of southern Wisconsin. Here's Future Track showing that quick little line of thunderstorms trying to scoot along the Wisconsin-Illinois border early Wednesday morning, but they'll be quick, and by the time we get to noon, temperatures already climbing well into the 80s. We'll do upper 80s for highs. Here comes an area of thunderstorms potentially over southwest Wisconsin, north and west of the Dells by 10 o'clock. Better chances by 2 o'clock in the morning. Watch what happens to this line of thunderstorms, though, as it moves into southern Wisconsin. It starts to fizzle as it moves through 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the morning. But that line of thunderstorms still could promote some gusty winds and some heavy rain as well. That's why we have that marginal risk of severe weather for Wednesday. Thursday, we could redo this all over again, provided we get the storms Wednesday night going into Thursday morning to clear out for that heating to occur on Thursday for redevelopment. Again, the impacts, wind, maybe some hail, but the wind is the primary threat that the First Run Weather Team is keeping an eye on with these bouts of thunderstorms. Let's recap here. Isolated chance tonight, maybe a storm or two near the Wisconsin-Illinois border in the morning. Better chances Wednesday night. If those morning storms on Thursday take too long to clear out, that could keep the afternoon storms from redeveloping. Now we have the All-City Swim Meet Thursday, Friday going on into the upcoming weekend. Thursday is going to feature those storm chances, Friday too, but Saturday and going into the rest of the weekend looking pretty good.
And coming up in sports, history in Paris. The former Badger that helped lead the U.S. women's rugby team to the podium is next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
It's their classic rock that brings audiences to their feet. It's Blue Oyster Cult, performing live Saturday, August 31st at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Tickets on sale now through Ticketmaster. Over 5 decades of music, thrilling fans everywhere. It's Blue Oyster Cult, August 31st at Ho-Chunk Gaming, Wisconsin Dells. Your odds are better here.
At RG Heating and Air Conditioning, our promise to you is 100% satisfaction guaranteed. Guaranteed service, repairs, and replacements. Installing quality Trane equipment. Trust your home with RG Heating and AC.
Dear Triathlon, let's splash through rushing rivers, take on iconic trails, and race straight to the top. What's the point of winning if you can't kick back and enjoy the view? Yours, Toyota SUVs.
Right now, lease a new Corolla Cross for $299 a month, or lease a 2024 RAV4 for $329 a month. Find yours at Toyota.com. Toyota. Let's go places.
Now 5, now 15, now 5.
Experience the thrill of a live auction and get a great deal on an RV. The Ultimate RV Auction is being hosted at Camping World in Madison, Wisconsin. Friday, August 2nd at 1 p.m. Central Time. Over 100 RVs are up for grabs with bids starting at $1 and no reserves on select units. Bid in person or online at cwauctions.com. Pre-bidding is going on now. Preview the inventory and place your bid today.
Wow, Wayne, that is a beautiful window.
It sure is, Jeff. It really tackles energy efficiency.
Sure has a nice slide.
It's one of the best screenplays I've ever seen.
They're so easy to close. I'd say it's a grand slam.
If you guys keep making those dad jokes, you're going to be a real pain in my neck.
Oh, that's a good one. Did you hear about this one, 5?
Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month.
Visit PellaWI.com today.
Are you ready to make junk disappear?
I am so looking forward to this.
we make junk disappear. All you have to do is point. Call 1-800-GOT-JUNK
or visit 1-800-GOT-JUNK.com.
We'll be there before you hang up the phone.
You'll soon vote on 2 misleading constitutional amendments. They're designed to trick voters into eliminating checks and balances in our government. It's a power grab to give the MAGA politicians in the legislature the sole power to distribute emergency funding. They gerrymander, deny elections, and push abortion bans. Don't give MAGA politicians the sole power. Vote no to questions 1 and 2.
Camp Platteville is officially in session for Wisconsin football. The Badgers made the hour bus ride south on Monday, and this morning kicked off the first practice of fall camp during their 2-week stay at UW-Platteville. It's a trip that they're looking forward to, too. The food was a hit last year, and what's better than football 24/7? Not much for this group, who's a little better prepared for their stay this time around.
I've made improvements this year. Brought 2 pillows instead of 1. Brought my own blanket. Brought my own soap. Brought my own towel. So I'm much more geared up and ready to go this year.
Food was great there. I remember that. Just breakfast, lunch, dinner, snack. Like the cooks, chefs there out over there was really good. One thing Coach Fick wanted to do is make sure we know each other as brothers, you know, and get like the hero hardship highlight thing, and we get to express ourselves, our background, get to understand each other deeply, and understand our why and what our mission here to do.
Meanwhile, Hunter Wohler was named to the preseason watch list for the Nagurski Trophy, which is given to the National Defensive Player of the Year. Last season, Wohler led the Badgers in tackles with 120 and picked off 2 passes. Up in Green Bay, the Packers already in week 2 of their training camp, preparing for a season with high expectations. And for Jair Alexander, well, he's already manifesting a plan on how he'd like to celebrate his 28th birthday, a day that just so happens to land on the same day as this year's Super Bowl.
I mean, you know, it's hard to say right now, man, but, you know, at the end of the day, I see us hoisting that trophy on my birthday, February 9th.
A 3-5er. Brewers and Braves going at it in Game 2 of their 3-game series, and this one got a little ugly in the 3rd. Already down 2-0, Eddie Rosario smacks one into right to play 2 more. Brewers fall 5-1, the final. We're back after this.
Okay, 500 deluxe garden gnomes. Wow. I only meant to order 5. There's not enough money in my account for these. I'm gonna get charged. 2 things I just can't deal with: overdraft charges and garden gnomes. But your BMO Smart Advantage checking account gives you an extra day to avoid an overdraft fee. Nice to see a bank cutting people some slack. Well, mistakes happen, and we give you time to correct them. So you don't like gnomes, huh? What about that one? That one I like a lot.
BMO. The Make It Ford Summer Sales Event is on. So make it your best summer ever with Ford. Get your ideal combination of power and capability. And experience hands-free highway driving technology with Ford Blue Cruise, available on select vehicles. It's the Make It Ford Summer Sales Event, so make it yours. Make it now. Make it FlexBuy on a new Ford Explorer, Escape, or Edge and get 0.9% APR financing for 66 months, plus $2,000 FlexBuy cash, only at your local Wisconsin Ford dealer.
Some lucky fan will win 4 Packers season tickets for 1 year, all because of Packers scratch games from the Wisconsin Lottery.
But who will it be?
This could be Debbie's year.
That looks like someone who could win up to $50,000 in instant cash prizes.
But don't count out Tim.
Maybe he'll win one of the MVP tailgate experiences.
Then there's Raymond.
Legend.
4 Packers season tickets for 1 year could be his.
Or yours.
Ticket prices range from $1 to $10, available at Wisconsin Lottery retailers.
Get an 11% rebate on your painting project, now at Menards. Pittsburgh Ultra Interior Paint and Primer in 1 provides a durable, washable finish. Grab a gallon of Ultra Interior Flat Paint for just $16.88 after rebate. Give your room a grand finish with Pittsburgh Grand Distinction Interior Paint. It's a premium paint and primer with excellent durability and comes in over 750 one-coat colors. A gallon starts at $31.99 after 11% rebate.
Save big money at Menards.
They don't clock out at 5 or care if it's the weekend. That means we keep working too.
So when Eric Hovde says that farmers don't work hard,
That pisses me off.
Think of farming. Look at the old physical toil that it would take on your body. Now you're largely driving around a tractor.
A California banker criticizing Wisconsin farmers for not working hard? We know what that is.
Eric Hovde, what the hell's wrong with this guy?
I'm Tammy Baldwin, and I approve this message.
Are you searching for a fresh career? Then join the team at Chalk D Building Systems. We're expanding, now with 2 Sun Prairie locations, and we're looking for individuals to join our team as assemblers, material handlers, order pickers, and machine operators. Chalk D Building Systems competitive pay starts at $22 per hour, plus comprehensive benefits. 3 shifts are available with overtime potential, and you'll become part of our 100% employee-owned team. Make your next career move on the careers page at chalkd.com.
Chris Stanford, News 3 Now This Morning, moving forward.
Tonight, Colbert's got Governor Gretchen Whitmer and Martha Stewart.
You ever do this with the raspberries where you put them all on your fingers?
Do that. Tonight on the Emmy-nominated Late Show.
All right, Alex is back. Final check of the forecast.
Good news, I think tonight's going to be quiet across much of southern Wisconsin. Could see a thunderstorm or two right along the Wisconsin-Illinois border near daybreak. But then all eyes turn into our Wednesday evening. Attention for the possibility of severe thunderstorms later in the evening. So tune in tomorrow morning. Savannah Brito will have an update.
You see the end of that rugby game tonight, how they won that thing?
That was insane.
That was unbelievable. Fun to watch. All right, thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 10, folks. Have a great night.